The Credit Show podcast with Harry Jacobs starts now.
We're focusing on Chime Financial, a company you've probably heard of, and why they're now under scrutiny. This is important stuff, especially if you use any kind of online banking or financial app. So let's get into it. Chime Financial isn't a traditional bank. They're a fintech company, which basically means they use technology to provide financial services. They offer things like checking accounts, savings accounts, and even secured credit cards, all managed through a mobile app. They've become pretty popular, especially with younger generations, because of their user-friendly interface and lack of traditional banking fees, like overdraft fees in some cases. Now, while Chime isn't a bank in the traditional sense, they still have to play by certain rules, especially when it comes to consumer protection. And that's where the CFPB comes in. Recently, the CFPB issued an order against Chime related to how they handle disputes from customers about unauthorized transfers and errors. This isn't a small issue. When you have a problem with your account, like a fraudulent transaction, you have the right to dispute it and have it investigated. The CFPB found that Chime wasn't handling these disputes properly, and that's why they stepped in. So, what exactly did the CFPB find? Here are some of the key issues they identified. Delaying investigations. The CFPB found that Chime frequently took longer than the legally required time to investigate disputes. Under the Electronic Fund Transfer Act and its implementing regulation, Regulation E, financial institutions generally have 10 business days to investigate a dispute and provisionally credit the customer's account. Chime often blew past these deadlines, according to the CFPB. Failing to properly investigate, even when they did conduct investigations, the CFPB found that Chime's investigations were often inadequate. They didn't always gather all the necessary information or properly analyze the evidence. Wrongfully denying claims. Because of these inadequate investigations, Chime sometimes wrongfully denied customers' claims for unauthorized transfers. This meant that customers were left on the hook for transactions they didn't make. This is a big deal. Imagine having money stolen from your account and then being told that the company you trusted to protect your money isn't going to do anything about it. That's the kind of situation the CFPB is trying to prevent. So, what are the consequences for Chime? Well, they've been ordered to pay $2 million in penalties. They also have to take steps to fix their dispute resolution processes. This includes things like improving their systems for tracking and investigating disputes, providing better training to their employees, and ensuring that they're complying with the law. And what does this mean for you as a consumer, especially if you use Chime or any other fintech app? Know your rights. It's important to understand your rights under the Electronic Fund Transfer Act and Regulation E. You have the right to dispute unauthorized transactions and errors on your account, and financial institutions have a legal obligation to investigate those disputes promptly and thoroughly. Keep records if you notice any suspicious activity on your account. Document everything. Keep copies of transaction records, communications with the company, and any other relevant information. This will be helpful if you need to file a dispute. Don't hesitate to escalate. If you're not satisfied with how a company is handling your dispute, don't hesitate to escalate the issue. You can file a complaint with the CFPB or other regulatory agencies. This action against Chime sends a clear message that even fintech companies, which often pride themselves on innovation and disruption, are not exempt from consumer protection laws. The CFPB is making it clear that they expect all financial institutions, regardless of their business model, to treat their customers fairly and handle disputes properly.
You've been listening to the Credit Show podcast with Harry Jacobs. If you need assistance with your credit, text CREDIT to 702-778-2000.